After this video goes live, it will automatically start updating how much money it has made me. It updates every few minutes and it's not gonna be 100% accurate. But I promise you, unlike what my ex used to say, you're gonna be satisfied to some degree by the end of this video. Also, bear in mind, it might break, it might not break, but honestly that is for the gods of software developing to decide. So if you're watching this from the near future and the numbers stop moving upwards, I just wanna say, I'm sorry, you were late. But for the rest of you, enjoy the ride. My name is Kribus and I promise you this will be the only RuneScape moneymaker guide you will ever need. Throughout my 1 year of YouTube content creation, I have created a lot of money makers for old school RuneScape. Some are hits, some are not, and to a surprise of nobody, I wanted to create another one. But I ran into a problem. You see, there is a lot of them. So which one do you choose? Do you want to make a video on a money maker that gets you bets on 3kc? Or do you want to make a video on a money maker that gets you hundreds of millions of GP in 2kc? Or do you just want to see a green collection log list that on average takes few thousand kc to complete, but you got it in just few hundred? Your options really are limitless, and there's no wrong answer here. So what do? You go to YouTube, type in money making guide, and then realize most of them are either years old and don't work anymore, or ruined by someone like me that throw the prices accidentally way too high to a point where you actually now lose money instead of making it. Ooh, I'm promising you a moneymaker that will get you rich very, very fast. Is something what the thumbnail is gonna say. No requirements, fast money right here, right now. Just click on the goddamn video until you realize there is a catch to all of it, and in reality it doesn't work like you think it does. Because let's be honest, if something is easily abusable, RuneScape players are gonna abuse it until it basically stops existing. Okay, so the YouTube thing didn't work out. How about old school RuneScape wiki? A sacred place by many players, and you search for the highest profit margins until you realize, I can't do 500 invocation rates, I can't do 2 or 3 on X, and I certainly don't want to do Theater of Blood. So you scroll down and the first realistic option for you is growing balm saplings. It piques your interest, you click on it, and then you find out you need 50 million GP just to do it for a single hour. Disappointment kicks in. Is there really not any good money makers out there anymore? Why does everything good require me to play this game for hundreds of hours? Or struck a gold mine to be the first one there just so I can abuse it for limited amount of time? After searching for a few hours and browsing to find the best answer to your question, you are left with exactly where you started off. The same method you've always been doing to make money, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. How about green dragons? The good old green dragons. The prices have never been higher. I mean, damn it. People have been making green dragon guides for almost 20 years now, and somehow they still work. I still remember when I was like 11 and shitting my pants going to the wilderness. I got the unfortunate case of Jad hands where you frantically start shaking because at any moment another player in full mystic might show up and blast your ass back to Lumbridge, while also trying to pick up dragon bones, and finally after getting out with a full inventory of loot, being absolutely relieved that I just made some bank, which was about 50k worth of loot. But for me, it was everything. Then of course repeating it over and over again. It was an update that most people don't even think about these days, but to a surprise of nobody, it was the solid foundation that laid all RuneScape moneymakers to come afterwards. And just for comparison, Green Dragon money making guides have gotten more views in the past year on YouTube than the final episode of the most watched old school RuneScape series of all time. That's how impactful a single moneymaker can be. Now, granted, maybe the 100 person explaining the same exact Green Dragon guide over and over again isn't as exciting as Swampman doing Theater of Blood, but you gotta admit that after almost 2 decades of hunting the same dragons, we're still going strong. It's honestly kinda impressive in my eyes. But okay, let's slow down a little bit. Let's say the wilderness and green dragons and scary players in Mystic isn't your thing. Maybe you're into skilling and spend over 100 hours to get 83 Hunter just to catch some dragon implings, while also having that itch to open the jars yourself, but knowing very well it's most likely gonna be worth much more if you don't open them. Don't worry, I won't tell if you did. After all, those neurotransmitters in your brain getting a hunk of rush is the only thing still keeping you playing this game. How about runecrafting, a skill that is more than 15 years old but still one of the most profitable ones in the game, because it turns out almost every single rune in the game can be used as a very good moneymaker. Obviously, depending on what timeline we're looking at here. We started with the basic options we had at the time, like running nature runes for someone else who put their blood, sweat and tears into getting 91 runecrafting just for that double nature rune hit. And nowadays, players have started to realize that running blood runes, wrath runes, death runes is just the optimal way. I mean, damn it, there is literally a moneymaker currently where all you do is tag every single char monster in the inner and outer circle with venom, and by the time we come around full circle, they have already dropped dead and you can just pick up the entire loot. You just need 3 items, Ring of Wealth to pick up Toggle, Serp Helm and Blowpipe to guarantee 100% venom, and you can quite literally make up to 3 million GP an hour here by just tagging everything that moves. People completed entire collection logs within few hours, whereas most of the time it could take up to multiple days to complete this. Delacon even made an awesome guide on this moneymaker if you wanna go check it out. And it proves a point that even this late into the game, people are still coming up with new ways to make money on content that is more than 15 years old. Unfortunately, these days, if you had to list the top 50 moneymakers, about 80% of those are related to combat. Because the reality of the situation is, if you have a good skilling method that also works as a good moneymaker, aka let's say 5 million GP an hour, that would slowly turn into 1 million by the end of the week, because everyone would do it, and I mean everyone in this case. A very good example of that was the Phantom Maspa boss that was released at the start of 2023. Suddenly, the use of Icy Basalt, the main teleport that gets you the Phantom Maspa, rose from 1k each to 15k each in just few hours, because the demand was incredibly high. Immediately, skillers got to work, and in just 1 week the volume of basalt sold and bought was higher than it was in the past 2 months. People mined over 10 million basalt in just few days. That on its own was a good example of a skilling money method that unfortunately vanished very quickly after it was found out. But I think it accidentally also underlined a very good solution that we've been struggling with since the dawn of old school RuneScape. You see, most common moneymakers related to PvM have all one single problem. They make skilling useless. Let's take the 3 main bosses, Salra, Vorkat, Maspa. If you think about it, they drop cooking supplies, crafting, prayer, gems, ores, seeds for farming, alcohols, dehydrates, potions, foods, rune, herb, planks, secondaries. And on top of all of that, they have their own unique rare drop tables that give weapons and armor that even endgame players use these days. And all of that makes you think, why would I ever get my resources through skilling when those 3 bosses can get me my max cape? Or if you're not into training skills, just sell the same supplies to someone else. The outcome is all the same. Until Phantom Maspa came out, and I kid you not, on day 1 I saw more people mining for Icy Basalt rather than actually doing the new boss itself, because the demand for teleports was so high and it could not keep up. Skillers made sure that PvMers can do their thing and everybody was working together in harmony. And all of it made me think, why haven't we gotten this before? Because I guarantee you that was an accident that skillers who were mining and PvMers who needed the basalt kinda needed each other, because one paid a premium price for the teleports and the other was willing to sacrifice the new content to make more money. And I think there is something very profound in making skilling and PvM, the 2 options, work together rather than against each other. Luckily, mining basalt wasn't the only thing that can be abused, because long have we realized that with every update that comes out, there are new opportunities to take advantage of the system. For instance, I searched and I searched and I searched and I searched, and I swear I dug extremely deep to find a moneymaker for my Iron Man account. It has almost 1.5k total level, barely reaching the medium tier content in the game, and I was just so sick and tired of the normal moneymakers. Oh, go do pyramid plunder, high alch or maple longbows, click 10,000 times on a night. I mean, just the thought of that made my hands hurt, and I accidentally found a method in YouTube that trumped all of that. It gave me 1 million GP hard-earned coins every single hour, and that was miles ahead of the next one. I logged into my main account, which I used as my alt account, and I got to work, and within 1 day of playing on my Iron Man, I made almost 10 million GP in Soul Wars, just like that. And the method was as simple as it gets. You play against yourself and you lose. That's it. You get way more points than you would when you play normal games against actual opponents, and the benefit is that you never lose in this case. It's a PvP minigame with a 100% win rate. I do not think this should work like that, but if you're giving me, a smooth-brained RuneScape player, an option to take advantage of it, I will do it. All I needed was one alt account, that's it. Which is another thing I've noticed lately. Players don't even want to make money on their main account anymore, and have realized that you can just create another account that has one purpose and one purpose only: making money. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw this. There is an extremely detailed Google spreadsheet document meant as a guide for Rune Dragon alt that reaches for paragraphs and paragraphs of text. And I kid you not, step 2 of the guide is to get max stats. Just that step alone is about 300 hours of work, and that's only step 2. You gotta realize that making an entirely new account just for the purpose of one single moneymaker takes you months and months of work. And what do you get out of it at the end? A simple moneymaker that gets you stabilized 1 million GP an hour. That's it. That's how far people are willing to go for that one single moneymaker. It's reliable, and once the account is completed, it's always gonna be there for you, no matter what. But okay, I'm getting sidetracked here. Skilling a BVM, Rune Dragons, alt accounts, none of that matters in the grand scheme of things. You know what matters? You. Okay, sorry, that was cheesy. What actually matters is the enjoyment you get making money on old school RuneScape. And I'm serious here. About 6 months ago, I released a money making video that did decently well. It got almost 40,000 views, and the entire purpose of it was me selling gems like Opal, Jade, Red Opus to NBC store, and in return I get trading sticks, which I sell at a GE. That was the entire thing. I did it for 2 hours in total, and I must say, those were without a doubt one of the worst 2 hours of my RuneScape life. Yes, I did make 5 million GP an hour, and to my knowledge, that moneymaker still works these days, but I was dreading those 120 minutes so badly that I actually didn't want to log in for 3 days afterwards, and all I could think about was, what is the use of those 10 million GP I made in 2 hours if I don't even want to use it because I got so exhausted making that money? So now my approach is simple. Money comes to me, not the other way around. If the content I make produces profit, good. If not, that's fine as well. All it matters is that I enjoyed logging in and I can't wait to do it again. In Christmas, I gave my entire bank away to my audience, and it didn't matter to me that I had to start from 0 GP. In fact, I used it as an opportunity to start having fun again. And that's the approach you should take with your money making as well. Because the matter of the fact is, you can look up as many guides as you want about money making, but if you're not enjoying doing them, then what's the point? I guess my point is, please don't grow palm saplings for money making unless you really hate yourself. In this video, I talked about 50 different methods of moneymakers throughout the history of RuneScape, and this will be the last ever money-making guide I will post on this channel, because like I said, I realized that it doesn't matter. None of it does. I just want to enjoy this game whether I have 0 GP in my bank or billions, and not a single moneymaker I talked about or have ever seen will make a difference, because I'm just gonna do things that make me happy. Thank you so much to Telakun for helping me set up the title of this video, which I guess is the one and the only moneymaker that really matters, because you know what they say, the best moneymaker is getting a job. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye. Mwah.